SmackDown Hot Takes is where I look at your thoughts, opinions, and hot takes of the previous episode of SmackDown Raw PLE's Saturday night's main event. Let's get right started. I got I'm a Doomvenger, Shinsuke, the new Bronson replacement. So Bronson Reed is out, shattered his ankle probably. That was such a good move, such an awesome, spectacular sight, but I really wish these wrestlers didn't feel they had to destroy themselves in order to get over. Bronson Reed was doing an amazing job before jumping off that cage, but you know what? That is a moment that is going to be replayed forever. So he gained immortality. So, I guess pros and cons to jumping off a steel cage and shattering your ankle. But that said, who's his replacement? It looked like for a second there was some kind of moment that Solo Sikoa shared with Shinsuke Nakamura. The new Bloodline came in, destroyed LA Knight, Andrade, but left Shinsuke alone. Shinsuke looked like an animal backed into a cage. Blood starts coming out of his mouth, the mist, and then they just let him go. The new Bloodline allowing Shinsuke to leave. Was it just because they're mutual heels, or is something in the works? I think that really put over Shinsuke too, that the Bloodline was willing to leave him alone on this just mutual, you don't want none of us, we don't want none of you. It made Shinsuke look super credible, and then the mist thing coming out of his mouth like that, just Shinsuke's so creepy right now that it's amazing. And I love it, but should he be the Bronson Reed replacement? I would say no. You know why? Because I don't think Bronson Reed should be the Bronson Reed replacement. Even though he looked like he fully belonged in the Bloodline, I think him being in the Bloodline kind of made him a background character, and he's been doing so good at getting to the forefront of storylines. He was great in Survivor Series War Games, but I kind of want him to return and be on his own again, be his own destructive Bronson Reed self. Southpaw Jimmy. Kevin Owens should beat Cody for the Universal title with unexpected and unwanted help from Roman Reigns. I would love for Kevin to beat Cody Rhodes and they could trade it back at Royal Rumble just to, freshen things up, to really give a jolt to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is definitely better at chasing the title than, having the title, but most baby faces are. That said, if Roman Reigns helped Kevin Owens, I don't see it. I don't see it because that would destroy Kevin Owens' character. Then he would have to be kind of like Drew McIntyre in that he's a hypocrite, willing to say all these things, but at the end of the day, he'll accept Roman Reigns' help. Let's leave the hypocrisy with Drew and let Cody and Kevin just do their thing. I would love, though, for Kevin to cheat to win. I never said he wouldn't cheat to win. He's definitely a heel, but he doesn't need Roman Reigns interfering on his behalf. And again, why would Roman interfere all of a sudden against Cody Rhodes? Even though he might not like Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes might be in his way in life, they don't seem to have any beef necessarily at this moment. Yacht Tamir, here's one. Hot takes are lazy and boring. You're more creative than this. While I appreciate your confidence in my creativity, I'll tell you what, sometimes I'm like, man, I don't have anything to do, and I just get stumped. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, these hot take videos, they're a good way to just, get a video out there. However, I will also say this, hot takes do allow for less talked about portions of the show to get talked about. I would not do a Tommaso Ciampa DIY video, but there are hot takes that do talk about them. So by allowing hot takes to happen, you're allowing less talked about characters to get a little bit of a shine, because even Piper Niven got like 3 comments on here. I'm not going to do a Piper Niven video anytime soon, but at least I get to talk about her on this channel and bring attention to her. So I get what you're saying. They are kind of lazy. A lot of tubers go for it. It's low-hanging fruit, but you know what? Sometimes you just want to eat an apple. And that's low-hanging fruit too, and that's me eating an apple. That was me eating an apple. And this hot take video was my apple. And speaking of lazy and not creative, this segue right here to the contest. This is a contest in which I'm giving away this belt at 10,000 subscribers. How do you win it? All you got to do is comment below or comment on another video, because at 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to pull a random comment from a random video, and that's how I'm going to pick the winner. Again, though, you got to comment, you got to subscribe, you got to hit the bell notification, and you got to like the video. Well, liking the video is optional, but I hope that's an option that you want to choose, because the quicker we get the engagement up on these videos, the quicker YouTube pushes it out to the universe, and then we get 10,000 subscribers quicker. Jay and Love said on the stream, 10,000 before Royal Rumble. Let's go. That's February 1st. Can we do it? About 3,000 before February 1st? That would be crazy, but I would definitely dig it. And then I'll be able to quit the day job and produce wrestling content for you all the time. Not just hot take videos, but videos for you beautiful people. Let's get to the next hot take though. The smartest idiot. The Thug Line never needed Tonga Loa, and him being out just makes Solo look like he have two crazy silent patients. First off, don't ever talk ill of Tonga Loa again. He is the true tribal chief, the power behind the throne. But seriously, yeah, definitely the weakest link of the group, but you know, without Tonga Loa, now they really look like thugs. Now they really look like the Thug Line, because Tonga Loa, he always looked just kind of like, I don't know, wholesome, like he was chaperoning everybody, but now they don't have the chaperones. So now the teenagers are running amok through the neighborhood with baseball bats, hitting mailboxes, because Uncle Tonga is no longer there. Jay in Love, how did Tonga Loa get hurt? What did he even do in the War Games match? He came out fourth, and that's about it. What did he even do in the War Games? Tonga Loa, you provide so much entertainment to me. I love you, man. What did you even do? How did you get hurt? Oh, great comment, Jay and Love. Cam Nami, DIY heel turn was good, but built up a little weird tonight with like miscommunication at times in the match. I think the miscommunication in the match was actually part of the storyline, actually. I will say, though, that the turn is weird in that it kind of just, I don't know, we had the New Day's turn on Raw happen over the course of like 6 months, while the DIY heel turn happened over the course of, 3 weeks? So, I don't know, little rushed, but then again, honestly, DIY kind of like, So let's see what a heel turn does. Maybe we just had to pull the trigger. We had to rush this one because they were flopping. So let's see. Cam Nami, Solo should go after the U.S. title, and he should have done it after Roman lost at WrestleMania instead of going after a main event title. He needed to be built up, and now we see him kind of doing that. I think he should have got the U.S. title before Roman Reigns, honestly. Lost, but then again, Logan Paul kind of had that stranglehold on it. I get why not. Right now, though, I think I could see it, but I don't think so, because to me, Solo Sikoa needs to be a main event threat, and if he's going after the mid-card title, well, the name's in it. He's not a main event threat, then he's a mid-card threat. Member of the channel, KB, Tonga Loa got hurt pulling the tables from under the ring. Oh, there you go. There's something that he did. He pulled tables from under the ring. Oh, my back. I can relate, though. One time, I pulled a muscle in my back just stretching, and by one time, I mean 2 days ago. And it hurt. I stretched, and I was like, wow, did I just really hurt myself stretching? How the OG Bloodline win War Games, and there's no follow-up the next week. Yeah. That was a missed opportunity. That was a main event program, the main event program. There should have been follow-up. Plus, are we not going to have Solo versus Roman at Saturday night's main event? I thought that was the build. No Paul Heyman either. Yes, agreed. Like Paul Heyman, again, we could have had a promo of some kind. The constant disrespect of the Street Profits need to be studied. Why are they burying them? The Street Profits are so money. If you do not give the Street Profits the titles by WrestleMania or something, then just split them up. Put Montez Ford on Raw and Angelo Dawkins on SmackDown. They are so money. And Angelo Dawkins, I actually don't feel will be Marty Jannetty. I think he has a good personality too and some good in-work ability. I think he's not going to be as big as Montez Ford, but just split them up like they're attacked backstage. Come on. 2 people attacked backstage. Absolute horrible SmackDown. I didn't like it nor enjoyed this episode. I've been there. I don't feel that this episode was that bad, honestly, but I do feel it had a lot of missed opportunities. Damian King tag match was epic. Seems like it was directed by M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan being a director known for his plot twist at the end. Kind of like he sets you up throughout the entire movie. All the clues are there, and then a plot twist happens. You're like, what? He did Unbreakable and Sixth Sense. And yeah, you know what? All the clues were there, and it was very like, you thought it was about to all break apart, but no, it was just an evil master plan by Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano as your new tag team champions. Even though a little rushed, I still feel was the right call, and I'm glad the belts are off the Motor City Machine Guns. Monster Jam Brawny, why is the new Bloodline still around? What's their goal? Valid question. They just lost in War Games, and it's like, why are they still around? Honestly, I still think they have a lot to play out. But without Roman actually showing up tonight, it does make you kind of question that. If Roman had been there and Solo had just been like, no, you beat me once, I beat you once. Let's do this one more time. But because he wasn't there, it does make them seem directionless. So that was definitely, I think there's a lot of meat on the bone still, but without Roman and them not going after the title, it does seem like, you know, where are they going? TTJC, Cody moving to Raw is the best move for him as he has way more enemies and compelling stories over there. Seth, Drew, Punk, Damian, Woods, Kofi, Jay, Sami, Finn, Reed, Breaker, Strowman, to name a few. Yeah, okay, I agree with this. You know, he just feels more like a Raw guy anyways. Raw's a little more old school, and he feels more old school. Even though SmackDown's a little more polished, and he definitely does feel polished, the Cody SmackDown thing isn't working for me, but Raw, I think there's a lot of potential there. TTJC, Gunther moving to SmackDown was a great move for him, as there's a lot of weaker talent there for him to run through and rebuild his confidence / aura. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's just swap them. Let's just swap them because Gunther's not working on Raw either. Like, Gunther is like mid-card on Raw and like falling down the card still. Deville Stewart, I honestly can't blame KO for being angry about everything that KO's been through after the last 4 years of HE double hockey sticks. All of his friends teaming up with his biggest nemesis has destroyed him. And I can't even imagine what KO is going to do to his best friend, Sami Zayn. There was definitely a moment in there when Michael Cole was interviewing Kevin Owens. Michael Cole brought up Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, he said, I get why Jay and Jimmy are back with Roman, but Sami, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So definitely foreshadowing. Probably a WrestleMania program right there. I'm all for it. I cannot wait to see Kevin Owens go completely nuts on Sami. If he's this mad at Cody Rhodes, well, then he's going to be like quadruple at Sami, because after all, Sami should know better. He was already in and got out of the Bloodline, and now he's helping Roman regain all the power. Ooh, Sami's in trouble. Sami's in trouble. I'm really glad that they brought it up finally. Joshua Otley, Shorty G versus Stardust would have fed millions. Holy crap, it would have. Wow, I can't believe that those two survived those horrible gimmicks. Cody surviving Stardust and Chad Gable being Shorty G. I popped when Cody brought up Shorty G. I thought we were all supposed to forget about him. That was amazing. I would love that feud. I would love that feud today. But that's a joke. On a serious note, new Bloodline cash outs need some weight, like Solo winning a title. Yes, but again, the only title I want him to win right now is the heavyweight undisputed championship, and I think that's a little far out of reach. So I get what you're saying though. Would a U.S. title be enough for him? If he wins the U.S. title as the faction leader, I feel the faction becomes mid-card. They'd be a great mid-card act, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to book him right now as we go further on this path to WrestleMania. Tis Mickey. I'm wondering if Nick Aldis will have Carmelo Hayes fight Trick Williams on the first episode of Raw on Netflix. Whenever they show the commercial for it, Trick Williams is the only NXT talent they show, and they said tonight that all the GMs were moving people around for Raw on Netflix. The matches were really good. You know what? I didn't catch that. Actually. I didn't see Trick on the promos and stuff. So yeah, good call. This would be a great match for the first episode of Raw, a spotlight of NXT. My only fear is, though, that who would take the pin there? I don't want Carmelo Hayes losing to an NXT guy, but then again, your NXT champion shouldn't really be losing, period, but they do have great chemistry. Ooh, that's a tough one. I definitely could see it. I definitely would like it. I just don't want Carmelo Hayes to become the new Dolph Ziggler in that he makes everybody looks good and then he loses. So I wouldn't hate this idea, and great observations. I did not catch that. Macho Jam Brawny. I think they should give Piper Niven more wins. I think Piper can be a huge star if they give her a chance. definitely can be a huge star. They gave her a chance with Clash at the Castle, and she definitely proved herself on the microphone. Problem is, and this sucks to hear because when someone tells it to me, I'm like, shut up. But somebody has to eat the pin. Somebody has to eat the pin, and oh man. Her problem is also that she gets the airtime. She definitely gets the airtime, but being with Chelsea Green, she's always going to be overshadowed. Chelsea Green is such a star and a scene stealer that it's almost impossible to outshine Chelsea Green in the segment. So if you want Piper Niven to get more wins, she has to go solo. Problem with that is right now she gets airtime because of Chelsea Green. So honestly, I think she's in a good place. Even eating losses doesn't necessarily completely destroy you unless you're Gunther. Eating a loss with Gunther will destroy you, but eating a loss when you're teamed up with Chelsea Green, not so much, because if you notice, Piper Niven is constant throughout all of WWE programming this year. Name other female wrestlers who have more airtime than Piper Niven. I mean, it's main event players, okay, but what about a mid-card act? Name a mid-carder that gets more airtime than Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Win, lose, or draw, they're on TV. Meet Judy Angela Jetson. When Cody mentioned how Chad treated Otis, I got mad all over again that we never got a Chad vs. Otis feud. Oh my gosh, you're so right. You are so freaking right. I love Triple H's booking, I really do, but that is one of the biggest dropping of the balls, period. Otis was so over. How did we not get an Otis Chad Gable program? Even if Chad Gable was going to destroy Otis in the end of it, okay, it would have gave more heat to Chad Gable. So, yeah, I'm with you. That right there is like a missed opportunity, a glaring missed opportunity. I'm happy DIY are champs again. I'm pretty new to the Motor City Machine Guns, so I don't know much about their characters and mic skills yet. I hope they get more promo time. Great episode. Yeah, I like how you phrase that. You're kind of glad that the titles are off Motor City Machine Guns because you haven't really gotten to know them. You know what? Hey, they've been around for 20 years, but that doesn't matter. All that matters is how long have they been around in WWE. Motor City Machine Guns are great, but they got to build themselves and connect with the audience before we just hand them everything. So hopefully them getting everything so quick won't hurt them, and now they can establish themselves. And good for DIY. Their characters right now are definitely something that I'm interested, looking forward to. Chris to Goat 990, Bianca top 10 women of all time. I've seen enough. I absolutely 100% agree with this sentiment. Bianca's so good. She is so good. She's like John Cena of the women's division. And I mean that in all the good ways of John Cena was. Well, maybe she's not as good on the mic, but everything else, they're like 1-to-1. I love Bianca Belair. I know it's kind of like everybody wants to be like, oh, she's overrated or she gets too much airtime. Honestly, she doesn't, and she isn't. She's amazing, in my opinion. And the Street Profits deserve better. Yeah, they do. Though I feel, unlike other circumstances with Triple H, where I'm like, what are they doing with Gunther? What are they doing with Gunther? This sucks. I feel there's something going on with the Street Profits. I definitely feel it. I feel something's about to happen. The only thing that makes me a little suspicious is the fact that DIY just won the titles again. Will they give the DIY another 1-month title reign just so the Street Profits can come in? I hope so, but I don't think so. But man, I just feel like something's going to happen with the Street Profits because they are being disrespected. They definitely deserve better than what they've been getting. Just to be completely taken out in a backstage segment, give me a break here. But I think there's storyline there, so I'm going to hold off judgment. TTJC, SmackDown needs the draft to happen tomorrow. Yes, they do. Let's just change it up. Maybe it'll happen on like the second or third episode of Netflix Raw, but yeah, let's do a draft. And I'm glad that when people came from Raw this week, there was an excuse. I want to keep the brand split a thing, so let's just do a draft. Let's just shake it up and do a draft. A superstar shakeup. NBA All-Stars going to be posting SmackDown and Deadline vlogs tomorrow. Hey man, if you want, you don't have to, but if you want to post your vlog links in the comments of this video, go for it. And I'll check it out, and maybe other people will check it out as well. Jay and Love, I don't like how they're building KO and Cody's feud. They should be having a back and forth promo than a brawl. Too many car videos from KO just doesn't work for me. I get what you're saying. They did have a back and forth, a pretty good one, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But that said, you wanted more heat between Cody and KO this time around. And I do agree that they haven't really had too many face-to-face confrontations, whether it is a brawl or even just talking. So I would have liked to see more of that. But on the flip side, it's different. It's different, and different can sometimes be good because who knows, if this had worked, we could do more of it. But I do agree with you, it's not working to the level that it should, because KO had a lot of heat when he attacked Cody backstage when no WWE camera was rolling, and I feel they could have had more heat had they had more confrontations with each other. But KO being kind of in the car with his promos, I see what you're saying. However, I am glad when WWE tries new things to see if it works. Now, if the feud continues and we continue on this path with how they've been doing the feud, then yeah, I'm going to be on your page 100%. But right now, I'm okay with how they've done it, but I would like them to change it up to how you want it moving forward. Does that make sense? Dudley Morris, Tonga Loa can stop pretending like he's a wrestler. He can go back to being wholesome during his downtime. I love how everybody just thinks he's like wholesome. He's a wrestler. Come on. He's been at the business for like 20 years. Being on the grand stage of WWE with all the lights on you, it is probably a little intimidating. He's used to New Japan crowds, not Fist Savage, Ravage, WWE, under the microscope crowd. But yeah, no matter what though, we're all like, what a wholesome guy of the Bloodline. I don't think that's the reputation he wants. Tonga Loa, you gotta put your mean face on. DeVille Stewart, can we imagine of Vampire Nakamura versus Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu? Ooh, we got Jeepers, Creepers, a showdown of Hollywood old-timey monsters here. And then what about Bronson Reed? He's kind of like a Godzilla or King Kong type character. Please book it. Please give Jacob his championship opportunity with Jacob Fatu is the whole different level. Yes, I honestly, let's just keep him away from titles. Right now, Jacob Fatu doesn't need any titles. He's so strong and booked like an amazing monster as is. And let's just keep the belt on Shinsuke for a little bit. I'm kind of liking this new unhinged Shinsuke, like he's like a quiet, silent killer, and I love it. Rose Gold J, the promo Solo gave might be his best promo. Hard to tell now because he's cooking every week. Solo Sikoa has improved by leaps and bounds. I loved the passion and energy he gave tonight. Even if he is a little directionless without Roman, I still bought that he was in power, that he believed everything. This is definitely a different Solo than, you know, a month or two after WrestleMania. This Solo cooks. All Love 0307 Triple H is letting superstars go and invade each other's brand. I don't mind the visits, but it takes away from the brand split after a while. I agree, but again, they did at least give some kind of reasoning. You know, oh, we're in a little bit of a transition window, so I'm glad they did that little sentence right there, but I would like it to be very far and few between when we do have these kind of visits. Bianca Belair has been babysitting Jade Cargill for long enough and needs to go back to going after the women's title, and Jane needs to go on her own and develop. I could have used a little longer. I was hoping for the split at Royal Rumble, but be it as it may, right now is a perfect time to just let them go on their own. When is Cody going to drop the belt or go heel? He could benefit from a heel run. He's not dropping the belt until The Rock takes the belt from him. The Rock wants it, The Rock gets it. So we're probably not going to get heel Cody for 2 to 3 years, if we ever do, because you know what? Someone needs to replace John Cena, and John Cena, he never went heel after his first heel run. LA Knight needs to go to Raw and better his name. I agree, only if Cody stays on SmackDown. If Cody goes to Raw, LA Knight needs to stay on SmackDown. He needs to be the face, the baby face of said brand. So keep him away from Cody, because LA Knight, he needs to be the top dog, the top guy getting cheered on his brand. Rafael Lottie AI, SmackDown, in my opinion, was underwhelming after the glorious Crash Out Fiesta Raw produced. That was a hard Raw to follow. That Raw was one of the best of the year, so if SmackDown could even match up 75% of the energy that Raw did, I would have said it was a success. You can't follow up the greatest Raw of all time with the greatest SmackDown of all time the time, so I was okay with this SmackDown. It wasn't like, it didn't set the world on fire. I was disappointed Roman wasn't there, but overall I was okay, and you just can't expect to, that Raw was just amazing. Number 2, not having Raw on the show severely affected the ratings. The Temu Bloodline crash out on LA Knight and Andrade felt uninspiring and aura-less, but Nakamura misthreat elevated the menacing aura. I kind of liked that they just were attacking people at random and that they didn't go after Nakamura, so it was okay to me. That was okay to me. I liked it. It's just Bloodline, they look out for themselves, and that's it. Number 3, I called it when I said Johnny Gargano will turn heel along with Ciampa, but for them to attack Street Profits and take their spots, diabolical. That better lead to a really good feud where the Street Profits win in the end. Come at me now. There's no way Bianca should have won against Piper. The booking was ridiculously over the top, and everyone says Rhea is booked over the top as a top beast. Super Cena, she countered nearly every second move from the waypoint despite their distractions. Piper was fresh and Bianca was not. She was selling injuries and even got beat down before their match. That made Piper look extremely weak, especially having Chelsea at ringside and despite being good at what she does. Okay, so you make a valid point. However, I do disagree with you, but that's okay. Me disagreeing with you doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong even. You have a valid point. But I will counter this, and I love that we can do this with one another on this channel. This is not an echo chamber channel. This is a channel in which we can express our ideas and be heard. I have heard you, and I even saying that you are valid. But now hear me, and hopefully that you will see my point as well. Even if you don't agree with it, we can at least see each other's point and understand where we're coming from. First, I'm going to talk about the Rhea situation. Rhea Ripley recently had 4 to 5 of the women's division, top tier women's division, 2 champions, 1 Money in the Bank champion, hold her down and beat her up with a baseball bat after recovering from an orbital injury. And yet she was still able to recover from that after about 2 minutes. Multiple baseball bat shots within War Games. Bianca Belair is suffering from injuries, not even real injuries, but like, you know, the impact, the bruises of War Games a week later, 1 week later. Okay, and she is not fighting 5 of the top women, 2 of them being the heavyweight champions. No, she is fighting a mid-card act. I like Piper Niven. I love Piper Niven, but at the end of the day, she's a mid-card act, and her distraction is a comedy act. Bianca Belair has main evented WrestleMania. Bianca Belair sold, in my opinion, and made Piper Niven look amazing. Piper Niven has not looked that good or had that long of a match on SmackDown in forever. That was the most credible that I've seen Piper Niven in a very, very long time. She got all of her moves in. I feel Bianca allowed her to really showcase her ability. Sometimes you can look strong in a loss, and in my opinion, Piper Niven looked like a beast. And I would love to see her use this momentum and start to win more matches in the mid-card division. If Chelsea Green does not win the US title, I would love for Piper Niven to go on a tear and become the next US champion. But that said, I feel Bianca, she has been billed as a top star. You have to have top stars. I don't want Rhea to become a weakling like Gunther. I want Rhea to remain strong. I just feel Rhea is too strong. She's no-selling everything. Bianca Belair sold and sold and sold. Did she overcome Piper Niven? Did she overcome the threat of Piper Niven? Yes, she did. But a babyface needs to overcome the odds. But with Rhea Ripley, she is the odds. Nothing they throw at her affects her. But Bianca Belair was getting owned left and right, and in the end, she pulled out the victory. Does that make sense? There is a stark difference with how Rhea and Bianca are being treated right now. I feel that Rhea is way overbooked, and Bianca is being booked perfectly at the moment in regards to how that match played out. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Come at me now. Come at me meow. Did I say come at me now again? It's come at me meow. Come at me meow. And so those are your SmackDown hot takes. Not the greatest episode of SmackDown, but not the worst episode of SmackDown. I'll take it. Far better than the days of rubbing dog food all over our tribal chief. I appreciate every single one of you, including you over there. Yeah, I see you. You're the one, you never leave a hot take, but you come and watch the videos. I appreciate you. Thank you. You don't have to leave a hot take to enjoy these videos, so thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you girls. Every single one of you. Appreciate, love you, and yeah, have a good day.